Okay, let's unpack this. Today, we are not just, summarizing a novel. We're plunging into the electric, labyrinthine mind of David Mitchell's second novel, Number 9 Dream.
Right. And you're familiar with his debut, Ghost Written. You already know he sets a really high bar for complexity.
Oh, absolutely. But the critics, they all agreed he didn't just meet it with this follow-up. He redoubled his efforts.
He really did. They called it dazzling and exceptional. And I think what's so fascinating here is how this book just masterfully sidestepped that trap of the difficult second novel.
Yeah, that's always a risk.
It is.
Yeah.
But Mitchell, he retained that astonishing range of voices that made the first book so acclaimed. I mean, his ability to just inhabit these completely distinct identities is uncanny.
And at the same time, he delivered a structure that is, it's undeniably a more complex work.
It's an original Odyssey for sure, but one
Mm-mm.
that's constantly pulling the rug out from under you. It forces you to question what's real and what's, invented.
And the novel sets that thematic stage immediately. It promises this kind of hybrid reality from the get-go.
It does.
We're told right away that this narrative turns reality inside out, combining sort of sub-levels of reality and mind games.
A bit like the early philosophical paranoia of The Matrix, maybe.
Exactly. That mixed with the bleak, rain-drenched cyber chic of Blade Runner.
Yes, that fusion of metaphysical questioning and this gritty near-future Tokyo is precisely the map we need to navigate this deep dive.
So our mission today, then, it goes way beyond the simple plot of a young man, Eiji Miyake, searching for his father.
Yeah, we have to examine how Mitchell uses all these shifting genres, from video games to WWII journals, and all these diverse voices to explore those really fundamental questions.
Identity, memory.
And crucially, that often very thin line between destiny and conscious choice.
Mm.
We're really looking at a narrative structure that's deliberately designed to overwhelm you.
It mirrors the sensory and informational overload of modern Tokyo itself.
Exactly. We're aiming for depth, not just, a list of plot points.
Okay, so let's start with the protagonist's arrival in this hyperreality. We need to understand the stark contrast he represents, coming from a place so different from the city. Eiji Miyake is the ultimate outsider.
He's the island boy, right? He's traveled from the slow, measured pace of Yakushima, a place where time just feels different.
To the frantic, overwhelming heart of Tokyo. And his objective, on the surface, is beautifully, almost childishly simple.
Just find his father, that's it.
Right. His initial plan is rehearsed, almost like a mantra, over coffee at the Jupiter Cafe. It's this cinematic confrontation he envisions with this powerful lawyer, Akiko Kato.
He imagines himself just walking in and saying it with his practiced authority, I am in Tokyo to find my father, you know his name and you know his address.
And you are going to give me both. Right now. It's such a classic action movie setup.
And it's completely ill-suited for the reality he's about to walk into.
That internal monologue is such a crucial piece of characterization, though.
Oh, absolutely. It shows his total dependence on fictional tropes like action movie logic, to navigate a situation that demands something completely different. Subtlety, reality.
He's trying to will his daydreams into existence.
But Tokyo, the city itself, it acts as the first barrier. It immediately clashes with his simple objective.
And what a setting it is. Tokyo isn't just a big city here. It's this overwhelming, almost aggressive, claustrophobic force.
It's so close up you cannot always see it. No distances.
And everything is just layered, stacked, artificial, over-your-head dentists, kindergartens, dance studios.
Even the roads and walkways are up on murky stilts.
Yeah.
Venice with the water drained away. That image is so effective.
It is. It strips away all the romance of a canal city and just leaves you with this damp, confusing, layered infrastructure of, modern urban anxiety.
Exactly. And IG is constantly registering this sense of speed and compression, and it contrasts so sharply with his home island.
He notes the traffic moving at 1,000 faces per minute.
A dizzying, faceless blur, yeah. Whereas Yakushima, his reference point is 1,000 minutes per face. This relentless velocity, it just sets the stage for EG's psychological fracturing. He literally can't keep up.
And his target, the building that supposedly holds the secret of his identity, it embodies this urban excess and surveillance.
The Panopticon.
Described as a zirconium Gothic skyscraper. Its upper floors are so high they're hidden by clouds.
So it's not just an office building, it's a fortress. It's the central hub for the law firm Osugi and Busugi, where Akiko Kato lurks in her web.
The very name, Panopticon, it immediately signals the novel's core theme, right? Constant, unseen surveillance.
That juxtaposition is just foundational to the whole novel's meaning. You have Eiji, a figure from this slow, traditional, nature-bound world,
Dropped into a dizzying metropolis that runs on sheer speed and synthetic reality.
and his failure to understand this leads directly to his first assault, which we quickly realize is a deep dive into fantasy.
Yeah, fueled by all the genre fiction he's consumed. It's the moment his action movie rehearsal just takes over.
And it's wonderfully absurd.
He chooses to storm your fortress because waiting just isn't fast enough for him.
So to bypass security at Panopticon, he relies on this ridiculous, totally unbelievable cover story.
Claiming to be Rand's apprentice, Joji, covering Shinjuku clients because Rand has a fabricated case of...
Genital malaria.
I mean, the sheer ridiculousness of it, it immediately injects this layer of dark humor and just total unreality into what's supposed to be a serious confrontation.
It's the novel signaling to us, to the readers, that we should not trust the genre we think we're reading.
Right.
So when he confronts the first Akiko Kato, he locks the door, pulls out his weapon, a Walther PK 7.65 millimeter.
A compact, easily concealable, classic spy movie pistol.
Yeah.
Perfect for his fantasy role.
But the lawyer is completely unfazed. She just dismisses him as an island boy, caught up in some naive fantasies. She calls herself the most poisonous lawyer in Tokyo.
And then she delivers that first serious narrative shock.
The whole confrontation just turns hard science fiction.
The Kato he's speaking to reveals herself to be a bioborg dummy, a replicant.
And then the real Akiko Kato emerges, leveling a much bigger, much more serious weapon. A Zuvra Lone Eagle .44U.
It's such a great piece of detail, using the specific over-the-top weaponry to signal that shift from Eiji's, minor league fantasy to the hyper-real, violent world of Tokyo's powerful elite.
And she doesn't just overpower him physically. She dismantles him psychologically. She uses this cruel personal taunt about his mother, demonstrating that they saw him coming via spy.
That spy being Lao Tzu, the old man Eiji had befriended at the Jupiter Cafe.
Whose vidboy is an iCam linked to Panopticon Central Computer.
The complexity of the surveillance and counter-surveillance is just immediately established. Even the people Eiji thinks he can trust are part of this vast Panopticon network.
Eiji's escape is pure chaotic action choreography, though. It shows he has a flair for improvisation, even inside a fantasy.
He uses a hidden incandescent booby trap in his toolbox to blind the Bioborg, snatches the sealed folder on his father.
And then in this stroke of sheer luck or instinct, he throws the high-caliber Zuvra into the path of the approaching guards. Right. And we're told this gun is so volatile that it overloads and explodes, creating smoke and chaos, letting Eiji hobble away, shouting about a madman with grenades.
And then the classic Mitchell snapback. The fallout is just this total narrative rupture.
Eiji finds the file he snatched is completely useless. Page 1 has air-reactive ink that's just melting into white, literally consuming the information as he tries to read it.
And when he runs into Lao Tzu again, the spy just growls, "Blasted Bioborgs, every blasted time."
Confirming the whole event was just part of a planned, systemic response to protect the firm.
So Eiji's cinematic approach failed spectacularly. He's forced to sit back down, smoke his Carlton cigarettes, and confront the fact that his movie script approach achieved absolutely nothing but a headache and a traumatic hallucination.
He realizes he has to find the real Akiko Kato now. The one with the aquiline nose and wintry beauty, and approach her in reality, not through the lens of some fictional confrontation.
The whole initial sequence, it just functions as this massive violent warning about the dangers of projecting fictional expectations onto a dangerous layered reality.
He learns that the surface of Tokyo is actively fighting his attempts to penetrate it. That's a crucial observation. Eiji is forced to trade in the genre of the action thriller for the genre of the hard-boiled detective. Slow, patient surveillance.
He tracks the real Akiko Kato from the Jupiter Cafe all the way to Shinjuku, but the failure of that first assault has just crippled his confidence.
He's hesitant. He's hesitant to accost her on neutral ground, worried she'll mistake him for a stalker or a scream rapist.
Which tells you how thoroughly his initial naivete was just destroyed.
His pursuit leads him not to another office, but to the Ganymede Cinema, which is showing a movie tellingly called
Panopticon. The city is literally screening the surveillance themes that dominate it.
And the cinema itself is the perfect liminal space, right? A place between reality and fiction.
The lobby is immediately strange. Psychedelic carpet, tatty glitz.
And he encounters a ticket woman whose fingers have fused into trotters from some urban blight or genetic mishap, and she shreds his ticket, denying him the clean entry he expected.
She engages him in this surreal, circular argument about popcorn, an utterly trivial topic, but it culminates in this chilling line that serves as a thematic warning for the entire book.
Mistakes never make it this far down.
That line, mistakes never make it this far down. It's so powerful. It suggests that Eiji, the accident, the mistake born of a brief affair, has somehow slipped into a system where only intended consequences are supposed to exist.
It suggests the universe, or at least Tokyo, is actively trying to spit him out.
And the movie he finally sees inside just reinforces this paranoia. The audience is minimal. Kato, a man next to her, and a third man.
In a wheelchair, apparently dead.
And the film itself is an embedded narrative, a Mitchell specialty, about a prison psychiatrist, Dr. Polanski, and a prisoner named Vorman who insists he is God.
And has managed to convince the other inmates of his delusion.
This isn't just filler, though. It's an urgent psychological warning for Eiji. Within the film's plot, Akiko Kato appears, meeting Eiji's father, who's referred to only as a powerful congressman or minister.
And she delivers this calculated, vicious lie. She warns him that Eiji is a crack addict who vowed to me that he would kill you for his stolen childhood.
She's weaponizing Eiji's trauma, turning his quest for identity into a political threat.
She advises the father to liquidate the problem before it turns into your political death. But the true thematic punch comes at the end of that embedded film narrative, with the Belgian trick where Polanski seems to become a Vorman.
We need to pause and really unpack that moment. What is the implication of the psychiatrist, the man of reason, being taken over by the prisoner who believes he is God?
Well, the implication for Eiji is that he's deeply susceptible to having his identity absorbed or hijacked by the powerful delusions and narratives of others.
So Vorman, the God figure, represents the ultimate self-justifying narrative.
Exactly. And Polanski, the rational self, fails to resist the delusion and becomes the delusion itself. So Eiji, this island boy with a fictionalized understanding of reality, is being warned. The powerful people you are chasing, Kato, the congressman, they will create a false narrative about you.
And if you internalize it, you will become the crack addict they claim you are. Your identity will be written for you.
Precisely. And the moment Eiji leaves the cinema, he's met with another fatalistic genre, the video game.
He encounters Yuzu Damon, a sleek ponytail and law student, while playing the arcade game Zax Omega and Red Plague Moon.
And Damon immediately introduces this theme of overwhelming fatalism. He views the game as doomed from the first coin, suggesting that the video game will always win in the long run.
Damon is the epitome of nihilistic Tokyo cool. He sees the world as a deterministic system rigged against the individual.
And this fatalism is infectious. After taking Eiji to the Queen of Spades bar, which is described as a miniature planetarium disguised as a roof garden, a physical manifestation of Eiji's already altered perception,
Damon articulates his cynical worldview. Girls are like video games, Miyake. You pay, you play, you leave.
And this sets up that deeply unsettling, drag-fueled night in the Love Hotel. Eiji, still looking for connection and control, is trying to play the game by Damon's rules.
But he's fundamentally unsuited for that level of cynicism. He wakes up abandoned, short 54,370 yen.
The money detail is important. It's a concrete, painful reality check.
Right. Only to find the message scrawled on the mirror. Only a video game.
This is a major thematic point. Eiji is repeatedly trapped inside the genres and fatalistic systems of others. Whether it's the action movie, the paranoid thriller, or the cynical video game, they all lead to his exploitation and humiliation.
It forces the question. If life is a game, who wrote the code and how does Eiji overwrite it?
And that fatalism swiftly leads to a real-world collision with violence, the Yakuza. This is where the narrative shifts from mind games to just visceral, physical threat.
Eiji is taken by Lizard and Frankenstein, the names themselves suggesting these grotesque mythological figures, to the unfinished black glass pyramid, Valhalla.
Valhalla is the perfect setting for organized crime. A towering monument to future greed, currently existing only as this dark, empty shell on reclaimed land.
Eiji is interrogated by Marino, the Yakuza boss, about his relationship with Miriam, Marino's daughter, and Marino's suspicions that Eiji is part of Jun Nagasaki's circle of pickle-fucking traitors.
Eiji has accidentally stumbled right into a violent war of succession among the elite.
And the horror peaks when Eiji is forced to witness Marino's men lizard, Frankenstein, and Leatherjacket executing perceived traitors.
Nabit and Gunso.
In a makeshift bowling alley using actual bowling balls. We need a moment to reflect on this. It's a surreal, almost darkly comedic idea, but the execution itself is terrifyingly physical.
It is. This scene is the antidote to the Bioborg fantasy. Eiji notes that this real violence is terrifyingly more visceral and sickening than any fictional violence he's encountered.
He observes the sheer physical damage. When the ball hits, the victims become a staved-in cavity of bone and blood.
The point is clear. There is no clean escape. No clever booby trap. No respawn button in this reality. The violence is ugly, messy, and final.
And this visceral horror provides the ultimate wake-up call, but also the vital clue.
Right. In this chaotic environment, Eiji discovers the key to his quest. His father's name crops up in Marino's file, confirming this dangerous connection to the Tokyo underworld and political elite.
Marino is not his father, but they are clearly entangled.
And Marino's action here is such a profound statement on Eiji's perceived value. Marino, utterly indifferent to Eiji's personal quest, just casually tosses the document wallet with the file into a metal trash can.
It confirms Eiji's status as unwanted refuse in this larger, ruthless conflict.
However, this moment is the true shift. Eiji moves from passive seeker, reacting to genre, to an active player, realizing he has to go back for that discarded dirty file, the only concrete piece of truth he's found.
So having experienced the visceral shock of the Yakuza and the, existential emptiness of the video game metaphor, Eiji tries to establish some semblance of a normal life in Tokyo.
He takes a job at the Ueno Station Lost Property Office.
Which isn't just a workplace, it's a deeply symbolic location, a kind of purgatory.
Yeah, Eiji observes that it's the place where lost and forgotten orphans ended after the war, and where the laws of probability work differently. It's a repository of discarded identities and broken connections.
We get this great anecdotal detail that underscores the office's surreal nature. His colleague, Mrs. Sasaki, once had a human skeleton wind up on her trolley.
Right,
The environment provides some temporary stability, but Tokyo's inherent instability always finds a way in. His manager, Mr. Aoyama, is the caricature of Japanese corporate rigidity.
extremely uptight, obsessively tied to the station as an extraordinary machine. Aoyama's fear is existential.
Yeah.
He's terrified of being restructured to an end-of-the-line deep freeze in Akita.
This fear ultimately consumes him. Aoyama, driven to fury and anxiety over his professional obsolescence, eventually has this violent public breakdown. He jumps from a ledge.
And Eiji witnesses his body cartwheels and falls for a long, long time. This is a crucial symbolic death.
It reinforces the novel's theme that modern life often ends in dramatic failure and chaos, especially for those who rely on rigid systems for meaning.
The corporate man, the rational functionary, is also vulnerable to the overwhelming forces of the city.
And his colleagues are equally surreal, yet insightful. We meet Lao Tzu again, the old man from the cafe.
And Suga, the colleague who believes he is an arch cyber-criminal, Suga is the one who introduces the final layer of informational cynicism.
He reveals he quit hacking after discovering the Pentagon was a massive practical joke built on 9 billion holy grails nested within each other.
He's basically saying the entire digital edifice of global power is ultimately a prank, a convoluted structure masking an essential emptiness.
And this observation validates Eiji's earlier suspicion that the powerful narratives he encountered, the bioborgs, the criminal connections, are all just elaborate games constructed by people who are themselves chasing nothing substantial.
It's within this highly unstable environment that Eiji receives a crucial black package from Admiral Raizo.
Who is later revealed to be his actual grandfather, Daisuke Tsukiyama, in disguise.
And the package contains a wartime journal written by Takara Tsukiyama, a Kaiten pilot, a human torpedo destined for a suicide mission in 1944.
This journal is the novel's moral compass. It's an embedded narrative of profound historical weight and sacrifice, and it contrasts so violently with the cheap modern violence Eiji has just witnessed.
Tara writes to his older brother, Subaru. He details his unit, the 10,000 stitch belt from his mother.
A traditional talisman meant to protect warriors, stitched by 1,000 different women to lend their strength.
We have to linger on the Kaiten detail. These were human torpedoes, essentially disposable. Takara details the coldness and distance felt from the regular submarine crew on the I-333.
Who regard the pilots as perhaps insane for running toward death while they slip away from it.
That's a crucial distinction. Takara's death is philosophical, a willing embrace of destiny, whereas Eiji's life feels so accidental and chaotic.
Takara's final moments in the journal are harrowing. He details the release of the Kaitens and the final human words from Hosokawa in Nagasaki dialect. I'll be thinking of you, may glory be yours.
And he sees the enemy fleet, clearly silhouetted harbor lights, just before his attack. It's a moment of clear purpose, albeit a tragic one.
This heroic, self-sacrificing history binds Eiji's family to destiny and a powerful, if dark, sense of national meaning. This provides the ideal, the heroic father figure, that Eiji is subconsciously seeking.
But immediately after encountering this history, Eiji's past is redefined by a second, deeply traumatic document.
A letter from his biological mother, Mariko Miyake, who left Yakushima for Tokyo to become his second wife to a rich lover Eiji's father.
And this document just tears down that heroic ideal and replaces it with profound personal trauma.
The mother's confession is brutal. She recounts the immense misery she felt among the vicious tribe of young mothers who shunned her for her status.
In a moment of drunken despair, she attempted to kill infant Eiji. Right, Palm, I decided to throw you over the balcony.
Eiji was saved because children go limp sometimes, like rag dolls, which protected him from major injury. She was judged mentally unfit and returned Eiji and his sister Anju to Yakushima.
This memory, coupled with the previous section, gives us the origin of Eiji's feeling of being a mistake that never should have made it this far down.
His own existence started not heroically, but as a traumatic accident. And this trauma is directly connected to his sister, Anju, whose death by drowning.
Overwhelmed by the ocean.
Eiji vividly recalls trying to comfort her after gossip about their mother reached her. Broken eggs, everywhere. Anju was overwhelmed by the external world, the sea, just as Eiji risks being overwhelmed by Tokyo.
It creates a tremendous internal pressure. Eiji carries the genetic memory of a heroic, self-willed death, Takara the pilot, and the personal memory of a traumatic, accidental survival, his own. The search for his father is really the search for which narrative wins, destiny or accident.
So Eiji finally approaches the end of his search. After contacting his mother, who is in a clinic for alcoholism in Miyazaki, and getting remarried, he gets a message from his father.
Daisuke Tsukiyama, who is revealed to be a cosmetic surgeon. The message, delivered by an actor employed by Akiko Kato's firm, apologizes for his wife's interference and invites Eiji to his clinic in the Panopticon building.
The pieces are finally converging.
The stage is set for the brutal final truth, and it's a brilliant piece of anticlimax. Eiji goes to the Panopticon, now realizing Akiko Kato is his father's colleague in Osudi and Busugi.
And he uses a cover delivering a kamikaze pizza to his father's office.
The name of the pizza itself is this dark echo of his ancestral legacy.
He eavesdrops on Daisuke Tsukiyama, arguing with his wife on the phone about overreacting and hiring a private investigator. And when Eiji confronts him, Daisuke does not recognize him at all.
No, he just comments dismissively on the delectable kamikazes.
This is the moment of profound failure. Eiji realizes the catastrophic truth. He was merely a 60-second amusement, a zero, a concept that connects directly back to his mother's trauma, and now he's an embarrassment.
The long, fantastical quest for a heroic, or even a powerful, sinister father, ends not in a dramatic confrontation, but in a mundane dismissal.
He found his father, but lost the heroic vision of him entirely. He is unattached to the powerful man he sought.
He has to define himself now, based on his own choices, not based on his origin.
So having found his biological father and realizing he was a narcissistic zero, Eiji's focus pivots entirely.
Yeah, he realizes that meaning won't be found in ancestry or destiny. It has to be constructed through connection.
And he finds a profound source of meaning in Imajo, the pianist he met at Jupiter Cafe after he headbutted that human hog, arguing over change.
I represents resilience and genuine vulnerability. She's a diabetic pianist applying for the Paris Conservatoire, forbidden to go by her traditionalist father.
And she offers Eiji a completely new framework for existence, moving past the nihilistic fatalism of Damon.
She tells Eiji that the meaning of her life is to balance death and sugar.
That philosophy is the key to escaping the video game metaphor. Diabetes is a chronic daily condition that requires minute, continuous conscious balancing.
You can't control your fate, but you can manage it through constant effort and choice. It's the antithesis of the Caton pilot's one-off destiny or the father's narcissistic self-absorption.
Eiji realizes he is probably in love with her, noting she never, ever tries to impress, and that impresses me so much.
He has to face the difficulty of true vulnerability and making a conscious move toward connection.
Their imagined future together is this beautiful counterpoint to the city's violence, surviving a hypothetical red plague, another nod to the Zax Omega game, but this time they survive it together.
Living in the Amadeus Tea Room, performing Debussy and Lennon repertoire, they exist as brother and sister in harmony. It's a world based on conscious, chosen connection, not blood or destiny.
And this internal shift toward choice is confirmed by the central dream narrative that gives the novel its title, the hashtag 9Dream revelation.
Eiji dreams he meets John Lennon, who explains that the song hashtag 9Dream is a ghost story, a descendant of Norwegian wood, and that the two spirits dancing so strange bless you with harmony.
The most crucial line Lennon delivers is, "The ninth dream begins after every ending."
And that provides the philosophical framework for the entire book's structure. It links the novel's cyclical nature, the endless nested narratives and ruptures in reality, to Eiji's own rebirth.
The end of the father quest is not a collapse, but the beginning of a new meaning, a conscious choice to start again.
Now that he has this new purpose, Eiji takes agency in the world he previously just navigated passively.
And Suga, the former arch-cybercriminal, provides the means. He gives Eiji a final gift, a disk containing his finest home-cultivated computer virus called Mailman.
Suga reassures him it's totally harmless, but it will forward itself in Eiji's message to every address book for 99 generations, multiplying exponentially.
The description of totally harmless is so crucial for the critique. If the virus is harmless to the technology, why is this an ultimate act of rebellion?
Because Eiji weaponizes truth. He weaponizes information flow itself. The payload is the file he retrieved from Marino's trash can, the document compiled by the private investigator Kozu Yamaya.
And this file reveals the explosive truth about his father, Daisuke Tsukiyama's involvement in the Yakuza War of Succession and his influential political position.
So Eiji makes the conscious choice to launch the file globally. He types in the email address for the Tokyo Metropolitan Police homepage and presses Enter.
Launching the file globally, making the truth about the Tokyo underworld and political elite undeniable and uncensorable, it will spread way, way beyond the ability of anyone to cover it up.
This is Eiji's ultimate act of rebellion against the system that tried to make him a zero and treat him like a video game. He uses the enemy's weapon informational chaos against them.
He's leveraging the very structure of the city that oppressed him, the speed, the network, the information overload, to ensure that the powerful can't simply delete his narrative.
Not like they deleted his fantasy in Section 1. He forces a reality onto the powerful elite that they cannot ignore.
The novel wraps up with Eiji leaving Tokyo, feeling free for the first time, heading toward Miyazaki to see his mother, who is getting remarried.
His journey, previously defined by all these external deterministic forces, concludes with a conscious act of severance from the city.
His final reflection on the highway, after his chaotic descent into Tokyo's depths and his digital counterattack, it just summarizes the entire work, the theme of jolting reality.
Rock solid, you believe the world is, then everything jolts and shocks. He has moved beyond the simple search for a father and discovered that reality is fragile, a fact he has now used to his advantage.
So if we look back at the structure of number 9 Dream, the synthesis becomes pretty clear. Eiji's journey is constantly interrupted and redefined by these layered realities.
The Bioborg fantasy, the chilling warning embedded in the Vorman film.
The fatalism of the Damon video game, and the moral weight of the Caton Journal.
The narrative structure itself trains Eiji, and us, that reality is not fixed. It's a series of conflicting and often fictional stories that we have to navigate.
The core conflict driving the novel, and what makes it so resonant, is that tension between the quest for a heroic, predetermined meaning represented by the self-sacrificing Caton pilot.
Takara, yeah. Versus the cold reality of finding a self-serving, narcissistic father in the cosmetic surgeon Daisuke Tsukiyama.
Eiji ultimately finds meaning not in the destination, but in the chaotic journey and the authentic, chosen relationships forged along the way.
With his landlord, and even through Damon's strange loyalty, he chooses connection over destiny.
Eiji left Tokyo feeling free, having launched a truth bomb into the digital sphere. But Mitchell, in his final masterful stroke, gives us one last piece of external reality to consider.
The source material ends not with Eiji's quiet freedom, but with a catastrophic physical event striking the city he just broke.
Immediately after Eiji launches his exponentially multiplying virus containing these sensitive truths about the Tokyo elite, we learn of a massive earthquake striking the metropolitan region.
The National Bureau of Seismology reports a quake of 7.3 intensity on the Richter scale, exceeding the Great Kansai earthquake of 1995 and indicating extreme structural damage.
This is the ultimate unpredictable shockwave coming immediately after Eiji's digital act of chaos.
Eiji chose to digitally shatter the carefully maintained fictions of the Tokyo elite, and then the physical world followed suit.
So here is the provocative thought we leave with you, for you to mull over as you process Eiji's journey. What does this final massive earthquake represent?
Is it merely the external, uncontrollable reality of Tokyo finally shattering the layers of fiction and artifice that the city's inhabitants and Eiji himself have built around themselves?
Or is it the ultimate consequence of Eiji's decisive choice? A new natural justice unleashed on Tokyo, mirroring the digital chaos he just set loose, suggesting that a disruptive truth will always result in a massive, unpredictable shockwave.
The ninth dream begins after every ending. Eiji found his freedom, but did that freedom come at the cost of total devastation for the city he left behind? That cycle of creation, destruction, and renewal is what Mitchell challenges us to consider. The choice and its consequence is yours to ponder.